about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone. And it's gone. It is bedlam at the bank.
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
Dodgers, what happened? You guys thought you had that, huh? You guys thought that you were going to come in here and you thought that you were going to win the series and you were going to take the game today. Teoscar Hernandez, I'll give it to you, dude. You absolutely demolished Cristopher Sanchez in his pitching today, but my God, was it overall a good game today. But what's up, everybody? Eric, also known as Shard, here at the 302 Birds Phillies post-game show. And Fratty, my guy, what a win today. What a series dub, taking down the champs, taking down the Dodgers. Dalt's going to join here in a few seconds. He's just getting home from the game that he was just at. But Fratty, man, what about that win?
Unreal. It was one of the one of the more crazier games of the season early and so far in like the first 9 games. That what's the name? That one big inning, so he just messed it up big time, and it was back and forth a couple times, and ultimately the Phillies just stormed ahead, and the rest was pretty much history when we won the game 8-7. But yeah, that's pretty much for the intro, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to get into it, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, overall, great back and forth game. And, I really thought that we were going to lose this game because, we had a 6-2 lead, and then we'll get into it, but Jordan Romano comes into the game and just absolutely blew it. And I just, I think Jordan Romano needs to go. We'll get into it. I kind of said a couple of games ago that I wanted to give him a couple starts to see how he is, and he's just not making a good impression. But I don't know. But getting into our first topic, first thing I want to talk about, Cristopher Sanchez, dude. I thought he looked okay today. I mean, not great, not bad. All the runs off of Cristopher Sanchez came from Teoscar Hernandez. So I'll give you props there, Dodgers fans. Teoscar absolutely owns Cristopher Sanchez at CBP, so congrats to him. But looking at the pitching report for everybody that pitched today, Sanchez went 5.2 innings pitched, 6 hits, let up 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 9 strikeouts, let up 2 home runs, both to Teoscar Hernandez, has a 4.09 ERA. Jose Ruiz gets the hold after that. 0.1 inning pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts, 3.86 ERA. Jordan Romano, oh my goodness, he came in. It says 0 innings pitched, so I guess they're not counting it. I'm not 100% sure how that works. Let up 2 hits, 3 earned runs, absolutely stunk today. 1 batter walk. His ERA is a 15.75. Hoo-wee. Kerkering after that, he gets the win. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts. His ERA is still a 0. Absolute stud on the mound. He's one of the big 3. After that, we use a lot of pitchers today, but we have an off day tomorrow. After that, Strom gets the hold. 1 inning pitched, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Again, his ERA is also a 0, so big 3 there. And then finally, to close off the big 3 of Kerkering, Strom, Alvarado, the 3 amigos, Alvarado comes in with the save, his second on the season. 1 inning pitch, no hits, no runs, no earned runs, no walks, no strikeouts, no home runs, 1.80 ERA. And again, he gets the save. So overall, great outing pitching wise, other than Romano. And we'll get into that in a few minutes. But Romano just looked absolutely terrible. I said I wanted to give him a couple more outings, and he's had a few. Looking at the games that he's played in so far, he's played in 5. And he just looks terrible. He looks terrible. I mean, 5 games so far. I feel like at this point I can kind of make a solid judgment, but just terrible. But Dole, how was the atmosphere at CBP today, man? How was the game?
Hey guys, it was awesome. It was, for a rainy Sunday, it was about as great as it could be. I'll give you guys a quick pregame interview of what the weather looked like, and then Shardy, whenever you're ready, I got a live atmosphere view of what Casty's Grand Salami looked like. And on top of all of it, guys, this is adult fun fact. Little side note. I have never, ever had a Phillies ice cream cap, ever, in my life. As a kid, as an adult, ever. So today, for the first time in my life, I said, you know what? I got to get one. And I had my first ever Phillies ice cream cap. So that definitely made my day. But let's take it to Citizens Bank Park live to see the pregame report with shout out to Chaos Chris for this very Philadelphian interview, I would describe it as. As far as weather report goes before the game, it's a little bit chillier. It's kind of misty out. I got a couple layers on. I mean, how are you feeling, Chaos Chris? Weather report.
Fucking cold. I'm tired of this bullshit. One day it's 75 degrees. Next day it's fucking 40.
It is some bipolar weather.
It's fucking raining every day. Give me the summer already. Fuck this.
Said like a true Philadelphia, my friends. So we're out here at Citizens Bank Park today. Cristopher Sanchez on the mound for the Phillies. Tyler Glasnow on the mound for the Dodgers. Philadelphia Phillies, I think, will take the dub. Sanchez put on some weight this year. He's looking solid. Hopefully, when we revisit this video, I'm right about it on the postgame show later. We'll see. Take it back to the studio. As always, God bless. Go Phils! Wasn't right about the Sanchez part, but was right about the W. And I'll tell you what, Shard, I was really happy with the way this team played. I know we were saying if they can come out of this with 1 out of the 2 and compete in the second one, but we really got best case scenario coming out of a series with the defending World Series champions winning 2 games. Bravo, Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you there. I feel like, if this was last year or really the year before in some spots in the season, if they were down, like they weren't fighting back. And I feel like this shows a little bit of a rebound this season where they are fighting and they do want to win games. And it was just a lot of back and forth. And, luckily the Phillies got the win in the end. Dol, I'm going to give it to you. You didn't be our bad luck charm today. So
thank you.
Congrats to you. But I mean, overall, great game. Batting wise, I mean, they had 11 walks. So if you can have a game where you take 11 walks, there's no reason why you should not win that game. And if they lost, I mean, I would be here completely different attitude, but overall, great outing for the pitching. And I really think that the starting rotation looks great. And other than a few things that they really need to tune up here and there, I mean, I think they look fine. The offense today looked great. Their chase rate was somewhat down. They took a lot of walks, so great for them. And then they played small ball, so great for them. Friday, what did you think of the pitching today?
The pitching today was Sanchez was all right, except for allowing those couple that home run and then a few other runs. He was all right. Jordan Romano, I know he looks like somebody I know, but I know he's Italian like me, or I think he's Italian. I honestly think there's a better shootout we can fill in there with Jordan Romano, and I think by trade deadline or before that or by whenever there's a better bullpen pitcher, and I'll say this: we fill in the hole with Andrew Painter. If Andrew Painter does all right, you fill in the hole with him in the bullpen because I don't see there's no way that Andrew Painter's even though he's young, he's not making it into the starting rotation.
Right.
And I think that if we go to a 6-man rotation, they might still say, "Oh, let's just wait and see and give Walker one more chance because he did pitch good in his first start." So honestly, if Painter comes here mid-year, maybe we get rid of Jordan Romano. If he continues or just release him before by the next month or two, whatever.
Right.
But I don't see him lasting long if he keeps pitching this way.
I don't see him lasting long either. And just to give an update on Andrew Painter, he's going to make his first start of the season on Friday with the Clearwater Threshers. The timeline is staying the same. So the Phillies are targeting the summer for him, about late June, early July. But he does need to get some game reps before they do bring him up. So he's probably going to get about 2 innings once a week to begin. He is still rehabbing. He's coming off of that surgery that he had. But I can't wait, Friday, to see Andrew Painter in the big leagues. I do think that this is great for him. I do think it's going to help him develop. I mean, he's going to work his way up through the minors, starting in Clearwater with the Threshers, moving his way up to the Fightin' Phils, and then, the Iron Pigs. So I do think that it will be good for him if he can work his way up, show that he's ready, get the outings. So, yeah, I mean, I'm ready for Andrew Painter, but I don't want to rush it. I don't want him to be rushed up and then, kind of like what we saw last year where they were rushing guys up to fill that 5th starter spot. And they had some great outings, and then they just ended up getting shelled in the end. Tyler Phillips, who was the other one? Was it Lazard? Not Lazardo. Mercado. There was one more. I can't think of his name. I think it started with an L. Or am I crazy? I'm probably crazy. But those are the 2 that really, can't come to mind. But getting into the next topic, next thing I want to talk about, the batting today, dude. I mean, it looked somewhat better today. Not great, but definitely a lot better. I'm going to go through the entire lineup, and then we'll talk about the one thing that happened today, thanks to a certain someone that's on this graphic here. But we'll get into that in a second. Schwarber, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 0 for 3. He accounted for 1 run. Turner, 1 strikeout, 2 walks, 0 for 3. He also accounted for 1 run. Harper, he looked great today. He had a blooper to score a run. Harper, 1 RBI, 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 2 for 4. He accounted for 2 runs. Kepler, he's just not impressing me. Really, anybody in the cleanup spot right now is not impressing me. I mean, I know they took out Bohm and they replaced Bohm with Sosa, which Sosa is just freaking amazing, dude. I'm just like, I'll get into that in a second. But Kepler, no, he didn't strike out at all. 2 walks. He was 0 for 3 today. He accounted for 2 runs. Nicholas Castellanos, that grand slam. Oh my goodness. First pitch, new pitcher out of the pen, first pitch, grand slam. My goodness, was I freaking out on my couch. Nick Castellanos, no strikeouts, no walks, 4 RBI, 1 hit, and we all know that hit was the grand slam. He accounted for 1 run in 4 at-bats. Stott, he looked great today. He had an RBI, 2 strikeouts, 1 for 4. Sosa, again, looked great. 1 RBI, 1 strikeout, 2 for 4. Marsh, oh my gosh, I can't stand Marsh. I don't want him to play anymore. He just looks absolutely terrible. I don't know what the answer is. I think Rojas should play over Marsh. But Rob Thompson apparently in the post-game interview said that he's comfortable with Sosa playing in the outfield. So maybe Sosa takes over for Marsh. I could see that. We'll see. Marsh 0 for 3 just looked terrible, and then Marshawn 0 for 1. So overall, the batting looked great. But speaking of that, Joey, I'm going to bring this up because Shohei Ohtani, let me pull this up on my phone because I retweeted it on Twitter. I'm not calling it X, it's Twitter. It will always be Twitter. Ohtani's weekend, 1 for 11, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and CBP remains one of 2 major league ballparks that he has never hit a home run in. The Shohei Ohtani, the Phillies own you, buddy. Absolutely own you. And like Chaos Chris said here, Kepler to the bench full time. He's just not doing anything. I don't know if it's a curse in that cleanup spot, but both Bohm and Kepler look terrible. Marsh looks terrible. So I just at the trade deadline, I know I said I think it was last year, right? If you break up the bullpen, it's a bad day. This year, break up the bullpen. I'm over it. I said bullpen, the daycare.
Daycare? Yeah, I gotcha.
Daycare, not daycare. The daycare looks terrible. Like other than Stott, Bone looks terrible. Marsh looks terrible. People can come for me in the comments, but it's true. I just don't think both of them look great. And like Chris said here, like I completely agree with you, Chris. I think Schwarber should be in that cleanup spot. It should be Turner, Harper. I don't know who you put in the third spot, and then Schwarber. I mean, I guess third spot, Bohm or Kepler, maybe even Nick. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But Dalt, what did you think of the batting today? I mean, you saw it firsthand.
Yeah, it was disciplined is the best way I can put it. And that's refreshing as a Phillies fan. Look, in Philadelphia at Citizens Bank Park, everybody loved ball, go, boom, right? We all want to see the home run, this and that. And we got the grand salami today. But they had 11 walks today on a very good pitcher that they were making work. And that's what you really want to see from this team, especially compared to yesterday's game, right? Where they all went flat and things didn't go well. When they can play disciplined baseball and play as a team, not just one guy's playing discipline, but everybody on the roster's under the same mindset of, hey, it's a marathon, not a race. If we can win the series against the Dodgers, that's humongous for us. Now, when we go to LA, it's going to be even easier for us later in the year because we got 2 out of 3 with them. So they just need to start looking at it like that. Game by game, win by win, this team gets better and better. But let me just show you guys a first-hand experience of what the bank sounded like after Casty's grand slam. And watch what I do, because this is what you do. Shout out to Uncle Charlie's cheesesteak. That's all I'll say.
Home run! Send that baby packing! Send it packing!
I don't know why I spontaneously shoved a cheesesteak in my mouth, but in the moment, it felt like the most Philadelphian thing I could do. And the cheesesteak was excellent, by the way. If you haven't tried Uncle Charlie's, please give it a try.
Yeah, but Calvin, I'm seeing your comment here. You're welcome, dude. I always love when respectable fans come in, so thank you for tuning in. Can't wait for a series against you. I mean, we will always have unfinished business with the Diamondbacks. It's always a great series. But respect to you. Thanks for popping in. But yeah, I mean, Uncle Charlie's is great, but yeah, I mean, I watched a video of the crowd noise from Castellanos Grand Slam, and CBP is just like, even with the rain, dude, like everybody shows up. It's loud. It's legit. It's, the Loud House for a reason. So I'm happy that Nick Castellanos got that Grand Slam because that's huge for him. Dole, was Liam in attendance? Do you know?
I did not see Liam. No, I did not. Sorry, I just thought of something. Let me know when you're ready. I want to coin a term, I think. Instead of Citizens Bank Park, I know we just said about the daycare and we want to trade him, but if B-Mar sticks around, we can definitely use it with Citizens Bank Yark. You already know, because that's what it was today. It was Citizens Bank Yark. It was rocking. Everybody already know what to do. Casty. It was funny because when it happened, and I'm not exaggerating about this, people looked at me and they said, check on your loved ones. Somebody died because Casty just cranked one. And I'm like, half laughing, half kind of nervous because it's rainy out. Like everybody's kind of got that uneasy feeling. So just if you're out there today driving home from the game, anything at all, be careful, be safe. And I mean that like half joking, half not joking in all seriousness.
Yeah, I texted my family group chat. I said, hey, everybody, just checking in. Everybody alive?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely get that. And I mean, stock market took a tumble. So, Friday,
Thanks, Casty.
what did you think of Nick Castellanos, Friday?
Oh man, I mean, he's really off to I'd say a pretty decent start to the year. I mean, for him to have a grand slam, just like not even 2 weeks for the season, him having a grand slam already, it's going to set the tone of what he's going to do the rest of the season and coming up on this road trip, because it could get scary for teams coming up like the Atlanta Braves, who are like I think they're 1-8. But the offense clicking today, like I said, with Casty, and if everybody else can start setting the tone, it could be really scary for the teams that we're playing on the road coming up. So
Yeah,
it's just interesting to see. I know what's the name? Dalton's going to miss CBP for a whole week. KJ's going to miss CBP for a whole week, but we're going to ride everybody in here. Chris Chaos, everybody's going to be riding from their couches, from their beds, wherever they're staying, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens this week. So yeah,
I agree with you. I mean, I think it's going to be a good, because they're on a road trip now. They're going to Truist Park.
Yeah, and then Busch Stadium. It's
Gotcha,
a six gamer.
Got you. So we'll see what happens. Road trips are always fun, so we'll see. But getting into our next topic, I mean, we kind of already touched on this, but I'll just say a few more things. Jordan Romano's got to go, dude. I don't know. I'm not going to spend too long on this because we kind of already talked about it, but he has to go. Like, I don't know Rob Thompson's mindset with this bullpen. It's been year after year where Rob shows, and Twitter was all in a frenzy over this. Rob just doesn't know how to manage a bullpen. I don't know why you would put Jordan Romano in that situation there. You kill the man, but not the idea. I mean, like, there's a picture. I'll have to pull it up here and see if I can get it on my phone. But there was a picture, and it was like Craig Kimbrell on the top, and it says "You kill the man," and then it's Jordan Romano on the bottom. It says "But not the idea." I just like Jordan Romano has like he was doing the same windup as Craig Kimbrell and blowing leads. So I don't know. I think you should have probably put Orion in from the beginning and just not put in Romano. But like, Rob, what are we doing, dude? Like, do you want to blow games? Is that your point? So, like Chaos Chris said here, and we are in complete agreement, Chris, but I do think I agree with you. I think it should have been Kirk Ring's. And Romano is a little bit worse than Kimbrell. So, yeah.
And that says a lot about Kimbrell, because it's funny that you said that. I laughed out loud backstage when he said you killed the man, but not the idea, because it's true. And I would say that Philadelphia as a whole, and Shard and all the Philly fans that I know, have been very accepting of him. You know what I mean? Like, they've been very like, okay, you know what? I want this guy to work out. Very, okay, I'm going to give it time to pan out. Patient. And he just really hasn't lived up to the hype. It's a shame, because he's really the one guy that hasn't lived up to the hype. Everybody else that was here last year And everybody else that they brought in, Kepler aside, there's ups and downs with him. He did have that one game that I was at, and that's why it's hard for me to say no to Kepler, because the game where he had a home run, he had an exceptional game batting. Like, he was on fire that game. I would give it time with him. Romano, I don't know about. Everybody else, though. In the offseason, they took the time to be where they need to be. With Romano, it just feels like maybe it's a new city. Maybe it's he didn't take the time that he needed to in the offseason. Maybe it's a combination of the two. Maybe it's neither of the two. Maybe I'm just, speculating. But whatever it is, it's not working out. And I think that the Phillies need to kind of catch it before it hurts them. Because today they got lucky. And I guess, was there one game when it costed him a loss when he was on the mound?
I want to say it was the Rockies series.
Yeah, I can't remember. But even if not, I mean, you got lucky is the point. And you need to take him out before it gets worse. Because when it starts costing you clutch wins that you need later in the season, like before we know it, it's going to be mid-July. And we're going to be talking about the playoffs before we know it. And it's going to be next season. So I just want this team to keep playing games like you played today. Today was a perfect example of excellent baseball. Discipline when they needed to be, and then can crank the long ball when needed. Like, that's how you put up runs. That's how you be smart. And if they can do that all year, they're going to end up with another World Series trophy this year. Yes.
So I'm gonna put this up, but you can kill the man, but not the idea. So I mean,
very accurate.
So I mean, like Chris said here, and we'll go on to the next topic, but just cut them and get it over with. I mean, it was high risk, or what is it? It was low risk, high reward. I mean, I don't think we really paid him much, but getting into the next topic, series dub, dude. We've won every series so far. Nationals, Rockies, and now Dodgers, right? Those are the only 3 series we've played. So we've won every series so far, and that's huge in the beginning of the season. Going back-to-back series wins like that. So, I mean, I really do think the Phillies are in a good spot. And Friday, you were saying this before the show, but this is a really good start for the Phillies. I feel like the last couple of years, the Phillies have really just came out on opening day and just been flat. They've looked terrible. I know last year, I went to the Braves game, one of the Braves games opening weekend, and they look terrible. So this season, really, they've been off to a great start. And with having the Dodgers this early was a really good test for them. And maybe this shows us how they're going to do down the stretch, how they're going to do for the season. But Friday, what do you think about this series dub? And what do you think about, overall them winning all the series so far?
I think it's what's the name? Great. I mean, think about it. We waited so long with spring training. Felt like spring training was one of the longer spring trainings ever for some reason, and I feel like all the waiting we did for Phillies baseball after that disappointment in October last year. I mean, to start off the season and not lose a single series ever since losing to the Mets in the postseason tells you that this is just even though regular season is way different than the postseason in certain aspects. That I really believe that if we can get used to winning series and this offense keeps waking up and the pitching lives up in the hype and we just perform well and at the right time, we just got to perform well at the right time. Regular season hasn't been our big problem ever since we started the playoff run, except maybe for 2022, we only won like 84, 85 games. We didn't have the best of regular seasons, but we had a good postseason, made the World Series. But I don't want to see us, like I said, I don't want to see us win almost 100 games and then not do anything again in the postseason.
Right.
But right now, that's the whole discussion. The postseason is like a million years away still.
Right.
Like
Right.
we're not even in mid-April yet, but like you mentioned, Chart and all, it's good, and like I mentioned, good start to the year, and we're going to see what's going to happen rest of the season.
KJ wants to know if you can send your Philly gang after Romano, Fratty. So, so, um, yeah, I mean, I think it's huge to win this series, especially the Dodgers series. I think is really huge. It just shows that, like I said the other night, we can hang with the Dodgers. I mean, we might lose a game, but overall, winning the series is what matters, especially in the postseason. I mean, if you lose a game, so be it. But if you can take the series and advance in the postseason, that's all that matters. So, getting into the last topic, I mean, just looking ahead, we have the Braves up next at Truist Park, and then after that is the Cardinals. We have some really great pitching matchups, especially in this Braves series. So I'm going to look at it now, but we have two of the Cy Young candidates going up against each other on Tuesday. We have Chris Sale against Zach Wheeler. Again, two Cy Young candidates last year. Fratty, Chris Sale won it last year, right?
Yes, he won. I think didn't Wheeler place second or third place?
Yeah,
in Cy Young voting?
Wheeler was second. I really thought Wheeler deserved it last year, but Chris Sale was also really good. But looking at the pitching matchup, like Chris said here, Wheeler versus Sale is good. I agree with you, dude. I think it's going to be awesome. And I'll get into the other matchup I think is going to be awesome as well. But for the Phillies, we have Zach Wheeler on the mound, right-handed pitcher, 1-0 on the season, 1.38 ERA with 18 strikeouts. Against Chris Sale, left-handed pitcher. Chris Sale is 0 for 1 so far on the season, 5.4 ERA with 12 strikeouts. I think it's going to be a really great matchup. Again, you have two Cy Young guys on the mound, and it's really just going to be a battle of which offense can do more. On Wednesday at 7:15, oh wow, we actually have some decent starts this week. All these starts this week are at 7:15. On Wednesday, we have Taijuan Walker against Grant Holmes. We'll see how Taijuan does. I mean, his first start was against the Rockies, and now he's going against the Braves. So we'll see what happens with that. I want to give Taijuan the benefit of the doubt. But again, you're going against the big bad Braves. You're going against a division rival. So we'll see what happens with that. Taijuan Walker against Grant Holmes. Taijuan is a right-handed pitcher, 1-0 on the season, 0 ERA. He threw those 6 shutout innings, has 4 strikeouts. Against Grant Holmes, right-handed pitcher as well, 0-1 on the season, 7.2 ERA with 5 strikeouts. And then on Thursday, I think this is going to be another great matchup. Jesus Luzardo against Spencer Swellenbach. Left-handed pitcher for Jesus. Spencer is a right-handed pitcher. Jesus is 2-0 on the season after having 7 shutout innings against the Dodgers. 1.5 ERA, 19 strikeouts. And then Spencer is a right-handed pitcher, 1-0 on the season, 0 ERA, 14 strikeouts. So I think overall it's going to be a really, really great series coming up. And like Chris said here, I hope we don't wake up the Braves. I mean, the Braves, whenever we play them, is a really great series. The Braves, knock on wood, haven't really been doing well. I think they are 1-8. Yeah, they're 1-8 right now. So haven't really had a great start to the season, but the Phillies should be able to, if they keep playing the same way, go in there. And I'm going to make my prediction. I think they take 2 of 3. So we'll see what happens with that. But I mean, do you guys have anything you want to add before we close it out?
I agree with you there, Shard. It's going to be hard to sweep the Braves, especially a division rival. Seem like we never go down there and sweep in Atlanta. We always seem to lose at least one game down there. So, Phillies fans out there, don't panic over one loss against the Braves, even though the Braves are like 1-8. They're still a Major League Baseball team. I mean, let's not get out of hand after one loss, even if it's as long as they make the loss respectable, it won't feel as too bad. But when it's like a pathetic loss, then it's a different story here in Philadelphia. So
right.
hopefully even that one loss against the Braves, if we do end up losing, is a respectable loss and not a blowout loss. So,
Right. Dalt, do you have anything you want to add about the Brave series coming up?
This is another big test. I want to see the Phillies sweep, like you said, Char. That's my test for the Phils. We came out, we got 2 out of the 3. We got a series W against the defending world champions. Now, I want to mop the floor with the Braves. If we can go down there in their house and mop the floor with them, that World Series trophy is for sure going to come back to Philadelphia. I want that confidence. I don't want to, fizzle out. Don't get me wrong. But this is a very bad Braves team, and this is a very good Phillies team. So pass the test once again, Phils. Take it game by game and mop the floor with these guys.
Yeah, I agree with you. But on that note, that's all we have for you guys. The Phillies have an off day tomorrow, so we won't be on. We will be back here on Tuesday. Again, the game starts at 7:15, so a little bit of a later post-game show, but we'll be here on Tuesday. With that, everybody have a good night. Enjoy this series win, and we'll see you here on Tuesday. See you, everybody.
The Vikings.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.